Hi, I'm going to show you a simple tutorial on how to use CMAP tools. So first I have CMAP open and I'm going to go to File, New CMAP. I'm going to make it the whole screen so that I can see everything. And I'm going to start by making my first node. So I just double clicked to make this first node. You can see it has a bunch of question marks in there, so to edit the text of what I call the node, I'm going to double click again. And this is going to be a CMAP about my son, Brendan Walkington. So he's going to be kind of the central node. Okay, so I want to make more nodes and create arrows that link him to these other nodes. So I'm going to click on this little rectangular cube with little arrows in it to make arrows in other nodes. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go upwards and click down again. Now I have another node here. You can see I can move it around all that I want. And I have this, which shows the relationship between this node and this node. So this node I'm going to double click in here to say September 13th. And the relationship between Brendan Walkington and September 13th is that he was born on September 13th. Okay, so now I have two nodes. They're linked by this proposition, and the arrow flows this way. He was born on September 13th. Okay, so I'm going to create another node down here. So this one, I'm going to put myself, Candace Walkington, and he is the son of Candace Walkington. Okay, you'll notice though that my arrow coming down here disappeared. This is going to happen a lot, and if you don't know how to fix it, it's going to drive you crazy. So I have my Styles tab up here. I can get to it from these menus up here if it's not up for you for some reason. Under Format Styles, you can bring it up. But it's already up for me, so I'm good. And the way I fix the disappearing arrow issue is I go to the Styles tab, I click on Line, and then I have to make sure the second one is always clicked, not the third one. It always defaults to the third one. It's super annoying. Second one will make it so the arrows do not disappear. So Brendan Walkington is the son of Candace Walkington. I also want to put my husband here as his son. So this time, rather than going to a node and clicking on the arrow button to create another relationship, I'm going to go to this proposition, this thing that connects these two nodes, click on the arrow button. So I can say he's also the son of, double click in here, Kevin Walkington. Okay, and then again, I can just click and drag on this node to put it anywhere I want. I'm going to just kind of space these two like this. And then I want to say what my relationship is to Kevin Walkington. So I'm going to click on me, put an arrow over here. I'm going to say, double click in here, I'm married to Kevin Walkington. But Kevin Walkington is also married to me, so I really want this arrow to be bidirectional. So if I just click on this part here that I want to be bidirectional, and I right click and I say reverse direction, then now we're married to each other. It's not just one of us married to the other person. Okay, so but the date that me and Kevin got married is actually September 13th. So I want to link us being married to the date of September 13th. And you can see this arrow disappeared too. I didn't have this set to the second one instead of the third one. Now it won't disappear. So I'm going to put an arrow from September 13th. Oops. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to press escape. I'm going to put an arrow from married to September 13th to describe that we were married on the 13th of September. And you'll see, like, if I had it like this, my arrow would be going like underneath the box of my name, and that's something you want to avoid doing if at all possible. So I'm going to drag it so it still looks okay and my arrow is not covered up. So another thing I might want to do is do some color coding on these or change the text size to show which ones are really important. So obviously Brendan Walkington is the most important central thing in this concept map. So I can go to Font. This is again on my Styles tab. And I can make the font size bigger. Right now it's 12, but I can make it like 18 to show that he's really important. This created an issue with my line going under my node, so I'd want to adjust this so it never goes under. I can also change the color of the object to have this one stand up because of its color, so I made it red. So I made it orange. So font, the font tab changed the size of the font. The object tab is what I use to change the color of the box. Okay, so another thing I might want to do is put some multimedia in here. So for instance, I might want to put a picture of Brendan linked to the Brendan Walkington. So I have this folder of pictures of him. I'm just going to drag one of these pictures over and put it right on top of his node. And then it pops up, it gives it a label. This is just the file name, which is fine. It gives the resource name. It knows that it's a JPEG. If I wanted to, I could crop or resize, but I'm just going to click OK. So now you'll see there's this little image thing right here, which I can click on, and it says Brendan Smiling, which was the name of the resource. I can click on that, and it brings up the picture. So the picture is linked to the node that says Brendan. I might also want to put a hyperlink in here instead of just an image. The way I would put a hyperlink in is I would right click and I would say add web address. And this is going to be Candace's personal website. And then my web address, cut and paste this obviously, but I'm just going to type it, cwalkington.com, click OK. Now you'll see there's this little image here which denotes a hyperlink. I can click on that and I see Candace's personal website, which I can click on, and it brings up my website, or it would if I was connected. So those are some basics of using the CMAP software. I encourage you to look at the online help documents for the software if you encounter any other problems, and also of course contact me. Thank you.
Hi, so I just wanted to go over two additional things. The first one is, as your concept map gets bigger, you're going to have more problems with boxes like appearing on top of lines, especially if you only use straight lines. So it's really useful to be able to curve your lines around things. And the way we do that is we click on our line to select it, then we right click and we say add control point. So this control point, you can see it popped up right here. It lets me curve this line, and I can add multiple control points if I want. So so that I can curve my lines to go around some of these boxes that are going to be in its way. The other thing for you guys to do when you complete your concept map or periodically as you're working on it is to go to Save CMAP As. You can see I just called mine Walkington, and it auto saves to the folder, or it auto defaults to the folder My CMAPs. So I'm just going to save it. And then if I look under Documents, My CMAPs, I can see there's my CMAP there. It's a CMAP file. It's totally fine when you submit this on Canvas to just submit it as a CMAP.